Alright, this is how to make highlights in GIMP using the same method that Benny Productions and Phase Runner and a bunch of other people use. So, as you can see here, we've got this guy levitating this star, which looks remarkably like our sun. And as you can see, the lighting on this guy is all wrong. There should be some pretty drastic shadows and highlights, so that's what we're gonna make here. So first, what you want to do is duplicate the layer. I'm gonna go ahead and hide these other layers. Go to colors. Where'd it go? Desaturate. Let's play around with these options. That works pretty good. So, removing all the color, and then I'm going to add it back in. Let's show the sun again. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of grab a color that I would expect the light source to be emitting. There. Saturation 100%, lightness, let's get it up there because it's going to be very bright. Hit OK. Right click, add layer mask, choose black. Make sure your base layer is visible, select the layer mask, take the paintbrush tool, select a hardness 050 or less brush. Let's get the brush size up there a bit. Force down a bit to about 50. Make sure that this is on black and white. You can do that by pressing D or clicking this button right there. Set the foreground to white by clicking X or just on that switcheroo button, and basically paint where you want the highlight to be, and then come back with a black brush and erase the bits that shouldn't be there. Now this should take a while. Now, as you can see, the back part of this sleeve is facing away from the sun, so it shouldn't be illuminated. Make the brush a bit bigger using the bracket keys. Lower the hardness. Drop the opacity a bit, maybe, and just softly erase like so. Now, another tool you can use is gradients. Foreground to transparency, you can use this on the layer mask to make highlights and shadows gradually disappear very softly. This works great for this case because I've got a sleeve here and that gets further away from the light source, and that allows for a nice gradual lessening of the shadow. Highlight. Here I'm using free select to erase some of the harder edges on the jacket. It doesn't have to be precise, but it does need to be somewhat close. Alright, now that I'm done adding the primary shadows, I'm gonna ignore his legs and face for now. It's still very intense, a very intense shadow, and so what you can do is decrease the opacity. Just drop down the opacity. It doesn't need to be dropped down too much. 60 should do for hard shadows. Lighter, more gradual shadows can go for less, more intense, higher. So that's pretty much how you do it. Of course, this isn't the greatest image to show this technique off on, but pretty much you're limited basically by your ability to decide which places need highlights. But overall, that's how you do the technique. So let me know how you do your highlights, because I'm always looking for different ways to do this. A couple of other ways that I know off the top of my head are with the curves tool. Just make it a bit more contrasty, really make those whites oversaturated, and then it looks like that. And then using that as kind of a highlights layer built in. It's the quick and dirty way of doing it. It's not great, but it works a bunch of the time. Sometimes I use it in conjunction with this colorize method, but that's pretty much how you do it. I was really sloppy up here, but you kind of get the idea of the technique. Yep, I guess that's it.